Hey everybody, it's DJ in the shop, and this here is a new spirit box that I've built. This is a very small spirit box, lunchbox size. What are we looking at here? I don't know the tape measure I have. They're only about 8.5 inches long, 5 deep, 6 high. As you can see, my hand, I don't have the biggest hands, but it's a little bigger than your hand. And same concept as any of the other ones that I've built. I've got a Bluetooth amp inside of here, which is 20 watts. It has your volume, your treble, your bass, on-off switch, 3.5 millimeter jack. Now, something that I've noticed that was driving me crazy, and I don't know why I didn't think of it because it was so easy. Sometimes I would plug in put the input in there and I wouldn't hear anything. You've got to be mindful that when you're plugging in something, you have a mono plug. This is a stereo plug, so in this case I have to pull it out a little bit to get the mono signal. My recording here, my setup is terrible. It's all I've got for right now. I'm working on some stuff. So I cleared out a spot on the desk, and this is what we've got. So, on the side here, we've got the static cutter. We got a booster. On the other side, we've got an ocean verb. And this originally had a reverb unit in it, and I wasn't liking the sound of it in this box. It just didn't sound right. So I had to take it out, and I had to drill the holes a little differently to fit in a new mod. And while it's a little rough around the edges, it's in there good. It's in there tight. It fits. It works. What else? On the back, you've got a terrific, I keep raving about these batteries, but they really are awesome. And you've got a 12 volt in, a 9 volt out, your on-off switch, and a USB. The USB is what is powering the screen, your interactive screen. Well, not interactive, it's on. It's just for looks, it's just for show. You could plug something else in there if you didn't want to use it, something else that used USB. Your 12 volt in is what's powering your amp, and your 9 volt is what's going to your 2 pedals. And this little battery covers it all, and it covers it really well. You're not going to lose power anytime soon on it. Like I said in the past, you could probably use this for 3 or 4 investigations, half hour at a time, and I haven't had any problems with it. I've used this thing probably 3 or 4 times already, and I'm only down 1 dot. 1, 2, 3, 4 greens and a red. When you get down to the red, then you're in critical condition. So it's been working well. I've got a little strap up here. Not very heavy. Maybe a few pounds, a little back heavy because the battery's on there. But the parts inside, they're not heavy. They're pretty light. I've got a small speaker in here, but it cranks pretty good. So I'm going to stop this. I haven't really used this box too much, so I'm not familiar with the sounds coming out of it yet. So I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to tune in an app, and then I'll start it again, and we'll ask a question that's been boggling my mind. Okay, I'm back. I'm using a tablet, so I'm even unsure about how much space I can actually record with this thing. So what I'm using here is a streaming live ghost box from Steve Halte. I heard the spirits say many times that they do like it. Steve Halte, right? Yes, sir. I've tuned the box and it took me about 10 minutes. It does stream a little faster than what I would like, so I'm going to have a slight problem with this live, but we're going to do it anyway. So let me turn this down just a little bit. I want to call on positive spirits only. Can I get a name of who's here with me? Can I get your name one more time, please? Jasper. I heard you twice, Jasper, and I heard Jasper as I was tuning this in. Jasper is he's not a resident here, but he comes here a lot, don't you, Jasper? Yep. Jasper actually stays down the street at a law office, which was an old barber shop back in the 1800s. And we're supposed to, as a team, go into that shop sometime soon. Now, what's interesting about my shop, do you guys mind if I talk a little about it? Can I talk about it? Yes or no? I think I heard a yes. I'm unsure. I think I don't want to go on. I think so. I'm not going to say anything right now. Maybe in a future video. What I want to talk about today, and maybe Jasper or Lewis or Mr. Crenshaw can come through, or even Carol. If Carol can come through, that's my spirit guide. I've got a question. I've done a little. I want to turn this down for a minute. I've done a little searching, and this has been a question that has bothered me for a long time. Now, when we talk to these spirits through these boxes, essentially we're hearing their voices come through without a microphone. They're coming through a speaker. And if we stop and just listen, we can hear conversations. But how are we hearing conversations when they're not using a microphone? They're using a speaker. A speaker and a microphone are one and the same, and they both use components to turn signals into sound. But without any modifications, that speaker is still a speaker. So how are we hearing the spirits coming through our speaker without those modifications? Can you tell me how? How are you using this radio to talk to us without a microphone? Does it have to do with frequency? And if so, how are you bending those frequencies to come out like it's being used as a microphone? And how is it that when we're not asking questions and I just let this run that I can hear conversations if you're not actually talking to me? Right. Do you just know that when a radio is on and scanning that you automatically use it to project your voice? Yeah? Okay. Well, thank you. That was the only question I had right now. This is a very short session as I got to get back to work. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.